Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Today I'm going to share with you a little section of the book, The Law and the Promise by Neville Goddard. Okay, so I'm going to read a little section and then I'll talk a little bit about it after I'm finished. So I'm going to start here. The question may arise as to how, by representing others to ourselves as better than they really were, or mentally rewriting a letter to make it conform to our wish, or by revising the scene of an accident, the interview with an employer, and so on, could change what seems to be the unalterable facts of the past. But remember and that means Neville's, claims for imagining. Imagining creates reality. What it makes, it can unmake. It is not only conservative, building a life from images supplied by memory, it is also creatively transformative, altering a theme already in being. The parable of the unjust steward gives the answer to this question. We can alter our world by means of a certain illegal imaginal practice, by means of a mental falsification of the facts. That is, by a means of a certain intentional imaginal alteration of that which we have experienced. All this is done in one's own imagination. This is a form of falsehood which is not only not condemned, but it is actually approved in the gospel teaching. By means of such falsehood, a man destroys the causes of evil and acquires friends on the strength of the revision proves, judging by the high praise of the unjust steward received from the master, and he is deserving of confidence. Because imagining creates reality, we can carry revision to the extreme and revise a scene that would be otherwise unforgivable. We learn to distinguish between man, who is all imagination, and those states in which he may enter. An unjust steward looking at another's distress will represent the other to himself as he ought to be seen, were he himself in need. He would enter his dream in his imagination and imagine that he would see and how things would seem and how people would act after things as they should be. Then in this state he would fall asleep, feeling the way he would expect to feel under such circumstances. So Neville's telling us what to do here. First, he's saying twice that imagining creates reality. Your imagination is creating what you're experiencing in the world. So even if you've experienced something in the past, something that's already over and done with, you can go into your imagination and change what happened. And that will alter your future course because you are creating your reality from your imagination. So let's say something happened with your specific person in the past. You can go in your imagination and represent him as he ought to be, right? According to this passage, as he ought to be. Loving you, telling you that you're beautiful or handsome. However that person is, he or she, whoever your specific person is, you want him or her or them to be represented to you in your imagination as you want them to be. So you're going to change what you believe about who they are, and you're going to change the facts literally in your imagination of what happened in the past. Now, You don't necessarily want to go out into the world and tell everybody what you're doing. You don't want to go tell people who remember these events and say like, oh, no, I changed that. But you also don't necessarily want to talk about what you're doing. You don't want to reaffirm what happened in the past by having conversations about it over and over again. So if someone draws you into a conversation about, like, say your breakup with your specific person, if you've gone through a breakup with your specific person, you can just sort of come up with some answers and just politely decline that conversation. Just be like, I'm really focusing on my life right now. I'm focusing on my state of being, which you are. That is true, right? You're focusing on your life. You're focusing on your state of being, and you're moving into the state of being with your specific person. So you don't have to dwell on the past, either with your friends or family, and you don't have to recreate it with your words. And then inside of your private imagination, you're going to go in there and you're going to dwell on what you do want to happen. You're going to change that past scene into them telling whatever it is you want to hear. I love you. I miss you. I want to be with you. And that's how it kind of works. So, and that's how it worked with my specific person. This happened to me. I've done it before. And so I hope you do really well with this, and may you manifest exactly what you want.